Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to my newly found gaming channel on YouTube. So, just as a little introduction to myself before I start to begin playing this game, but essentially I'm just a gaming enthusiast. All my life I've literally grown up with video games. I played video games. Geez, I wonder what the first video game I ever played was. Probably in my Super Nintendo, like way back when I played Mario. I think it was Super Mario Brothers. But either way, my first system was the NES, I think, or the Super. Darn it, I actually can't recall the actual name of it off the top of my head, but I did know I played Mario way back in the day, where gaming was just like a cartridge. And that's been a while. And all these years I've been just playing video games without really recording it or thinking about it. And of course this is way before the advent of social media like YouTube. But one day I thought to myself, you know what? I'm already playing game as kind of like a pastime, so I might as well record it and share my experience. And hopefully, obviously if you guys enjoy it, that's actually pretty good for me too, because it feels like I'm sharing my joy of playing video game with someone else. When you share the joy, it becomes better. Kind of my philosophy here. But anyway, not to distract myself any further, but my focus is really RPG. I just kind of like that genre. I'm not really into like FPS, though. If any of you guys eventually can convince me that there's an FPS worth playing, I definitely would think about it. In general, I don't particularly like shooters. That doesn't mean I can't be convinced to play it if the story and narrative and level up system and all that is compelling enough. But either way, like I said, otherwise I'm really focused on RPG, and I'm usually really casual about these games. Like, I'm not going to be like the type of gung-ho channel where, let's say, a tough game like, let's say, the Dark Souls series, I'm not going to try and beat the game with no attack or no weapon or level 1 or some stuff like that. That's not for me. But that's not like I bash on the player who do it. I just can't fathom it, and I think I'm not as masochistic and or sadistic enough to do it. But anyway, I remember a few years ago I started playing Octopath Traveler. This was way before this channel. And I thoroughly enjoyed the experience, so I figured, you know what, if I'm going to start a channel, let's start with a game that I really like. I haven't really played Octopath Traveler 2 all that much. I think I played maybe back when this game was released on the Switch. I played maybe one chapter of one or two characters, so I generally know a little bit about it, but I don't know the full game, and I've definitely not played through it before. And the purpose of this next video series I'm creating is pretty much just to play through the game, share my experience with you guys. Maybe along the way we'll discover some tips and tricks that might be able to help other players, or maybe I'll stumble upon a treasure chest that you guys didn't notice, and if that helped you, giving me a like or a subscription to the channel would be a greatly appreciated. Or even if you don't, you're not the type to subscribe, no pressure, just come watch my video. Honestly, that's the whole point of this, sharing the experience. But other than that, I think I should just gonna hop on in and see where this journey takes us, and pray that there won't be a ridiculous super boss like the one in the first Octopath, where let's just say I don't know why they designed it. Maybe they're trying to mimic something to the Dark Souls effect, where you feel great after beating a really tough challenge, but I really don't enjoy fighting a super boss that if you screw up, you'll have to restart almost an hour or 2 hour long battle. To me, that's not fun. I mean, essentially they're synthetically raising the stake. But every game to each their own. And like I said, I'm not super hardcore, so I might just, depending on how well received we are here, I might just play through the story casually without going super bossy. Having said that, though, if you guys comment and you want me to do more with something, or do a specific side quest or something like that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm generally gonna try and play through this blind. of course, having said that, if we're stuck on certain bosses, I might resort to what do you call it? I might resort to, looking up a guide here or there. I'm not going to pretend to be like a super gamer who doesn't need any help. To me that doesn't really appeal to an audience of casual players. Most people who come here are casuals. We're not all going to be like the super gamer who beats every boss without within like speedrunning. Yeah, speedrunning is what I'm thinking of. Those guys are insane. Kudos to those guys. But anyway, without further ado, I will begin the game. So, I tried starting the game earlier, but I had to mix. Basically, you'll see I have to continue here because I tried to start a game earlier and try to record a video, but there was some issue with the voice recording. So now I'm just trying to restart this whole process again. Pray that this time my voice actually catches on. So let's start afresh. Alright, let's see what we want to do here. I will choose a class. I remember in the first game I went for the thief. And actually that's really nice because the thief gives you like the stealing option, I recall. And nothing beats free stuff. It definitely beats bribery and such nonsense. Clearly she's the thief here. Okay, so Throne, obtain obtain item from townsfolk. Okay, Blessing of Darkness grants all allies augmenting effect at night. Okay, that makes sense to me. Okay, your name is Throne Angus, and you are a thief. Your tale begins in the thrilling city of Brightland. I just find it ironic. Thieves, dead of night, Brightlands. Okay, you are a member of the Black Snake, a guild of thieves that control the city from the shadows. Your job is to steal and clean. Oh, clean. Oh, pretty much assassination. Okay, not again, not the stench. Every time I breathe it in, it feels as though my very lungs are rotting the stench of blood. Determined to escape the cycle of bloodshed, you embarked on a journey for the keys to your freedom. Okay, as far as I'm remembering, the original thief his name was Therian, and if I recall, his tale is not as bloody. He's definitely not an assassin. I think he just steals. So that's going to be interesting. So do I want to start with her? You know what? I'll browse through and see what my options are. Cleric Temenos. Okay, his talent is inflict all foes with enfeebling effect at night. Huh. Okay. It's been a while since I played the original, so I'm gonna have to get acquainted with some of these status effects. But his path action is to guide. Bring townspeople. Oh, okay, he's the type that recruits people, and you can summon like like an old man that comes in and just chops your enemy to pieces. Or like a frail woman or an elderly woman coming in and blasting your enemy with like supernovas or something. Okay. Scholar Oswald. Okay. Gain insight into a foe's weak point. Huh. Definitely worth looking into. Darn it, I kind of wish, this is one of those times where I wish I did a Twitch or something like that, but I tried looking up how to set up a streaming system, and let's just say it's way more complicated than I anticipated. I don't even know if, like, for Twitch streamers gotta, like, pay monthly subscription or anything like that, but I do know that they have to do a lot of setup behind the scenes to get streaming going. And honestly, for me, this is a new channel anyway, but for a Twitch streamer, I don't know how they deal with the situation where they first started out, and they have no fan base, and sometimes they're streaming, and they're literally just alone on the stream, I kind of feel bad for those guys. But, I'm sure they found a way to attract some sort of audience before their stream begins. Or maybe they hold their stream on pause until, like, 5-10 people join the chat room. But anyway, that aside the point. Let's see. Dancer Agni. Okay, she's way more... Her story probably seems way more, cheerful than the last dancer. I forgot what her name was, but the only thing that I remember was that she had a very seriously, like, dark themed story, and that's one of the things that bugs me in Octopath, because you'll have a series of 8 travelers, all with different stories and very different tone. as far as how bloody and dark it gets. And you know, personally, I cannot imagine journeying with a person that you know is out to have blood, like out to kill 8 people or whatever. You know, obviously being in their shoe, but like I said, like a happy-go-lucky merchant probably have an issue with that. You know, you can't just kill a person in the morning and then, you know, chat each other up, you know, during a campfire session that afternoon. Anyway, let's see what the hunter can do. Capture and prepare. Prepare captured beasts and turn them into items. Huh, interesting. Or engage in battles with townspeople. Sheesh. Okay. What about her here? Apothecary Casti. Obtain information. Okay, her might actually be a good talent as well. Use material to craft healing and hazardous compounds. Most often time I play a warrior, honestly, and this is definitely fitting the bill. And actually, in most RPGs, I tend to play the warrior. I really hate playing the mage in RPG, just because I'm really bad at mid to long range. Anyway, though this game it doesn't really matter. But I think I only ever enjoy playing the mage when they're like magic point regenerate. I hate having to throw, like, you know, having a limited amount of mana restoration. I, in general, am not a fan of like healers who uses items. Only exception I've really seen was the apothecary in the first game and this game, I presume. Just because these guys have, yes, they have limited items, but the apothecary skill is completely OP if you mix up the right item. You literally can have like, you know, 30 elixirs or mega elixirs if you use it right, and that is insane. You know, kind of like using an item that gives you limit break. Anyway, that aside, these people don't get superpowered or overpowered until you mix and match a bunch of classes anyway. But now I'm kind of torn. I don't know if the order matters, but I'm guessing that when you start the first chapter, well, I mean, in the original game, once you pick a character and you go to recruit the next character and the next character, you get to keep them. So, you know, order, you would want to pick one with more utility. You know what? Just for that, I think I'm going to go pick Oswald.
The fire in my breast shall never be extinguished.
Yes, his breast. His fiery breast.
Nothing begets nothing. Follow the chain of cause and effect, and it will lead you to the answer you seek. For the record, you, Oswald, plead not guilty. Is that correct? The facts are thus. Upon extinguishing the fire, the bodies of your wife and daughter were found in the rubble.
Oh, jeez. Okay, this is a dark story.
They were nearly charred beyond recognition. A gruesome sight. I'm sure you agree. Thus the court accepts, without objection, immolation is the cause of death. However, there is one last inexplicable detail. Nothing one could reasonably consider the cause of the conflagration was found at the scene.
Okay, I can already not like where this is going.
Ergo, the fire ought not to have happened at all. Absent the use of magic, that is.
Oh. Okay.
You were a scholar of magic, weren't you, Oswald?
Okay, it's pretty obvious that they presume Oswald is the one who lit the fire and burned his own wife and child, just because they found no signs, no indication of how the fire started naturally. But they presume this guy, who happens to be a wizard or whatever, who can cast fire spells, they presume he did it. He casted it and killed his children, his child and his wife. But I don't, in our traditional judicial system, at least in the U.S. anyway, the benefit of doubt goes to the one being accused, and there's a possibility that another wizard in the area could have lit the fire. I don't know why they thought automatically it's the husband. I guess either this whole trial is being rigged, or they just needed a scapegoat. Either way, feel sorry for Oswald.
Is that a mere coincidence? I think not. Having conducted a thorough investigation of this, the court holds the following to be true. You, Oswald, were the only one capable of starting such a fire.
Yeah, I'm presuming there wasn't another wizard in the area.
In the sacred name of Alavan the Scholar King, the court hands down the following verdict. Oswald V. Van Stein, we find you guilty of the murder of your wife and daughter, for which you are sentenced to life imprisonment on frigid iron.
Again, this begs the question, unless they have some reason to believe he has some reason to purposely murder his wife and daughter, wouldn't it be more likely, or even more feasible, to think he accidentally, presuming it was him who started the fire, couldn't it be more reasonable to say he accidentally cast that spell? Because there's no reason to believe he intentionally casted that spell. But whatever. Logic.
Do you have any last words?
I still don't know why he didn't say anything to defend himself.
The man who took everything from me.
I love how he knows it's Harvey, but he didn't say anything. Presuming it is Harvey. And that he's not wrong.
Shall die by my hand. I swear it.
Alright, whatever. Ooh, 5 years. Okay. I mean, if I were this guy and he's already resolved to go to jail, he might as well have skipped that trial and went to kill Harvey instead. Unless there's some twisted way he plans to get revenge where he needs time to plan, Or maybe Harvey's in prison, he needs to go there.
Frigid Isle, a solitary island in the far northern reaches of the sea. Some call it the edge of the world, blanketed in snow all through the year. The nearest continent is due east, 4 days' journey by sea, even on the largest vessel. Even then, the fierce blizzards at sea can make a wreck of the mighty ships.
No, I think I might have skipped it. But yeah, trips to and from this accursed place are heavily regulated. Okay.
This place holds all mainlanders found guilty of the most heinous crimes. It held over 300 of us at its peak. In its 80-year history, none have escaped. Or rather, I should say, the deplorable treatment of the prisoners, ensures that lives end before sentences do.
Makes me wonder if this Harvey character intended for Oswald to die, but instead of, like, outright executing him, let's say by gunfire or whatever magic or whatever technology they have to kill people, let's send him to a prison where he may have already known that this guy will die in prison anyway. Presuming Harvey rigged that judge trial.
I have survived, but neither the unforgiving climate nor the ravages of time shall extinguish the fire in my breast.
Okay, I can't stop laughing at the whole fire in my breast thing. Like, we get it. You're determined to kill him, but stop it with the breast analogy. There's probably something better, like, I am resolved to kill him, or just something. Fire in your breast.
Another frigid day in hell, eh, Professor? You know what this is? It's your little notebook. It never leaves your hands, does it? Oh, don't look at me like that. I'm borrowing it.
Okay.
You were quite the scholar, weren't you? Yes, this notebook could be worth quite a lot.
Alright. I guess it's time for a new cellmate.
I'm sure it'd fetch me a tidy pile of cigarettes.
Cigarette, the universal currency in prison. Glad to see that something sticks.
You're welcome to take it back, of course. But you'll have to fight me for it.
Wonder what his point is there. Like, literally, that's literally asking for someone to beat you up. Okay, basic control, hold B while dashing. Beware, your chance of encountering enemy is higher. Reminds me of Pokemon back in the day. Alright, let's get out of here. Main menu, action path, confirm select. Okay. See if I can open my menu now. Oswald. Oh, okay. This is a pretty map. Let's see. World map. Yeah, glad to see world map. Okay, so we are stuck in some sort of area here. Some prison island. Oh god. I'm getting such a Xenoblade Chronicle vibe here. Haven't played that game in forever. Okay. Oh, glad to see we have all the names that we can reference at least. Wildland, Leafland, Winterland, Crestland, Hino Uma, Totohaha, Harborlands, Brightlands. Huh. Alright. Prisoner's clothes and a stick. Okay. Well, either way, let's start fighting him in earnest. Alright, let's see. At night, Oswald can mug townspeople for their belongings. Jeez, so much for scholars. Actually, he'd be the last person I thought mugging would be for. Mugging, I thought, would have been the thieves. Oh well, whatever. So we gotta mug our notebook back, essentially. Okay, alright. Exploit your foe's weakness to break down their defenses. Okay, so it's a similar system to the first game. Oswald can utilize staffs in battle. I guess this is the special ability he has. Once he uses more weapons, select attack and choose the one you want with left or right. Okay. Well, let's start by breaking his shield down. So obviously he has to be weak to staffs. It's literally you can use nothing else. Break your foe, then enter boost mode to deal a devastating blow. Breaking an enemy would drastically reduce their defenses and render them unable to act. Okay. I don't know if that's new from the first one. I definitely know it. Literally, if you break someone, they lose a turn. That's it. Press RB to enter boost mode, and the potency of your attack and ability will surge. You gain 1 boost point per turn. Okay, it's a very similar system to 1. And like I said, you know, if after like a few videos in you guys decide you also want me to eventually start replay Octopath Traveler, I can certainly go for it. But might not be convinced to do that super bad boss again. I mean, I literally had to redo that boss once, but still, it seems really annoying. You know, but you know, you guys can convince me. Okay, so let's start the battle. So he's already dazed or whatever, broken. So let's finish him off with 3 taps. The one thing I wished, I know the whole point of this game is to be 2D and kind of remind you of the old golden days, but I still kind of wish they made the character look better. Like, I mean, look, we're in an age where 1080p is considered normal, but when I see my character's avatar, they still look pixelated. Like, I mean, come on, there's got to be a point where you just like should not intentionally try to pixelate everything. I kind of like to be able to visualize what my character looked like, but the pixels just kind of makes it quite literally murky. Okay, so I get a bonus here for untouched and break. Huh, wonder how the bonus works, like plus 10% or something. Oh well, whatever. We leveled up and got some grapes.
Take it back. I've got no use for your filthy scribblings anyhow.
Yeah, this is why you don't taunt a guy. It's almost like this prisoner is trying to be dominant and kind of be the big bad boss by stealing his journal, but yeah, before you try to assert your dominance, you better make sure you can.
Guards! He's gonna kill me!
Okay.
Help! Somebody!
Normally, most soldiers won't even come. Or, did I say soldier? I mean, prison guards.
What's all this about?
Or when they come, they usually are there to beat the prisoner who made noises.
It's him. He attacked me.
Well, if it isn't Oswald, our magical murderous scholar. How do you like the new toy I gave you, Professor? It's a fine little muzzle, isn't it?
Well, that explained the don't catch or don't cast fires and ice spells.
Keeps you from speaking those spells you love so much. And the only one who has the honor of wearing it. They should be kissing my feet.
I guess he's the only mage in here, or for whatever reason the other mages cannot cast spells.
What's that look for? No defiance when I see it. I'll have none of it. I'd love to hear what you sound like. I really would. When you're begging for your life, that is.
Wow. I wonder if it's a real thing or just like a really bad stereotypical portrayal of prison warden in TV shows or games where The warden's almost always never a good guy. He's almost always abusing the prisoner one way or another. Um, Makes me wonder if it actually does happen in our own system, which would be perturbed if, I forgot what that theory was about people in authority and what was. I think it was called the Stanley Prison Experiment. I don't remember much about it, but it's clearly one of the more controversial study regarding like men in authority and how they respond to those authority. Either way, moving on. And of course, they leave the quote burgled, or what do you call it, robbed victim in the same cell with this guy.
13 seconds from the time the prisoner calls for help to the guard's response.
Wow. I mean, takes some dedication, but he does have a very powerful motivator in revenge.
At least some valuable information's come of all this. One warden and 34 guards and 292 prisoners.
Well, if he's planning a prison break, I gotta hand it to this dude. I think it was 5 years he planned a prison break. And I forgot what his original sentence was. Now that I think about it, is it like a few years or like for life? Honestly, well, they did say something about sending him to the island, but I don't remember if they specify how long he's supposed to be there. Either way, yeah, this guy's insane.
Over time, I've learned much about the way the prison and the people within it work. And all of that knowledge shall inform my eventual escape.
Wow. Okay, took you 5 years to plan an escape. I mean, you ever watch like a Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible, where he just breaks out of prison? Almost like every other movie.
An escape for which the plan is written in this notebook, using a cipher, naturally. I've revised said plan numerous times these last 5 years, and polished it to a fine sheen. Only 3 pieces of the puzzle remain. The first, an escape route. For this, I have chosen a passage that leads beneath the prison. This passage is overlooked even by the guards themselves, and it leads directly out of this place.
I mean, I don't understand the logic per se, just because he's stuck on an island, so even if he goes underground, does he expect there to be kind of like a giant passage with a hidden trapdoor somewhere that leads outside? It seems a lot to bank on, but,
I must conduct a more thorough review of it, and soon. The second, sooner or later. Once I escape, I'll be exposed to the elements.
okay.
The cold will claim me in minutes if I am clad in nothing but these rags. The third and final, an accomplice. To escape on my own would be to rely on my own assumptions.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
I require the help of another with intimate knowledge of the prison's inner workings. With these 3 pieces in place, my plan shall move that much closer to completion. At which point, only its execution shall remain.
Yeah, this must be some sort of high security prison if they managed to keep him here for like 5 years for him to crack a plan.
Wake up, human filth, to work with you.
I understand this island was once dotted with mines.
Hmm.
Entire mountains were reduced to rubble for ore, and the prison was built atop the wreckage.
Okay, so ore mining.
To this day, there remains fossils buried in the frigid earth. It's immensely flammable and sells for a fair bit of coin.
Sounds like a different way to talk about coal.
So the prisoners are forced to mine it, and the guards line their pockets with the proceeds.
Wish I could say I was surprised, but not surprised.
Mine scum! Keep those hands moving! I said, keep moving! Unless you'd rather freeze to death!
Oh yeah, he did say something about freezing to death within 10 minutes if you stepped out of the border or boundaries.
What's wrong with you? I can't move anymore. Too cold.
Hmm.
Don't you go soft on me, criminal filth. Need I remind you that you were sent here to atone for your misdeeds?
Yeah, misdeeds, which I'm getting a very strong and bad feeling that misdeeds that are either exaggerated or just unproven and maybe completely incorrect.
So beg whatever gods you serve for forgiveness. And dig, you useless little mole. Your life is worthless compared to the precious phosphor you cleave from the earth.
Yeesh. My life for a piece of coal.
And believe you me, we'd burn you instead if you were anywhere near as easy to set alight. Do you understand? Answer me!
Warning, sir. He's already dead.
Wow. Talk about beating a dead workhorse.
An unfortunately common sight. We are adaptable creatures. Any environment, no matter how horrific, can be made ordinary.
Well, I'm calling it now. This warden is either the boss of the first chapter or one of the following three. And obviously, I think Harvey would ultimately be the last boss of this storyline.
Forced labor is followed by a vanishingly small window of free time. It is in this free time that I review the remaining pieces of my plan. They are three. The first, an escape route. The prison is as old as it is massive. There are bound to be gaps in awkward seams. Perhaps I can glean a hint or two from someone with intimate knowledge of the island's history. The second, suitable clothing. one they call the Provisioner sells the clothing I'll need to survive.
There's always someone who plays the role of provisioner in most prison shows that I've seen, or or movies, I guess I should say, not TV shows.
But first, I need to find them. I'll start by asking any prisoners who might know this Provisioner.
Hmm.
The third and final piece. An accomplice. My accomplice cannot be an ordinary prisoner. I must find someone capable of enacting my escape plan. Then all that will remain is the plan's execution.
Okay. Use the radar on the bottom right to check the area and find your heading. Okay, the green is the next journey or the next mission objective. Side story is a star. Oh, save point. Okay. I actually don't know if there's like a, what do you call it? An autosave function, or just save on the go. Or this is a more traditional RPG. You have to go to a specific area to save. Okay, find an escape route. But anyway, it looks like we have a save here, so let's save here first. Okay, and then I try to keep my videos a little on the short side, just to make it ease of uploading and stuff, not waiting around for like 2 hours for one upload. So I'll end this video here, and I will see you guys in the next one. And like, do me a favor if you like what you've seen so far. Having said that, you know, it's only one video, so it's kind of hard to judge. But if you like what I'm doing, you know, I really appreciate it if you guys drop a like, you know, subscribe. You know, if you want to see more content from me, and of course, you know, leave a comment. You know, if you have any questions or anything you want me to see me do more, or like hell, if you want me to, like, you know, eventually beat super bosses or something in this game, I'm definitely open to being convinced. But anyway, we'll see you guys in the next video.